Merhaba, 12. Türkçe dersine hoş geldiniz. Welcome to Online Turkish School, lesson number 12. In this lesson, you're going to be learning very random stuff. Okay, some vocabulary from topic A, some grammar, some vocabulary again from another topic, etc. This is going to be a long lesson, but then I don't really upload videos quite so often, so you can really rewatch it and rewatch it and rewatch it countless times until you grasp all the vocabulary and the grammar. All right. Some of the students who were commenting complained that I don't teach much grammar, etc. So I decided, all right, I'll dish it out all the information I can in one video, and the students can learn one by one at their own pace, and the problem would be solved. So here we go. First of all, I'd like to teach you some very useful grammar point. In Turkish, when you take the verb root and add elim or alım, depending on vowel harmony, and occasionally add the letter y if the word already ends in a vowel, and you get the form let's. So let's take the verb öğrenmek, to learn. The root is when you omit the mek, so öğren is the root, and add ilim. Öğrenelim, öğrenelim becomes let's learn. It's pretty useful, okay? So if you want to say let's go to the cinema, you're going to say sinemaya, dative form, gidelim, from gitmek, right? Gitmek becomes gidelim. Gitmek, you omit the infinitive suffix and then add ilim, but remember gitmek and tatmak and also etmek receive consonant softening from last lesson if you remember. So they become gid, tad, and ed. If we want to say let's read this book, bu kitabı okuyalım. Simple as that. I think this is pretty useful. You can apply this to every verb you know. Alright, so that's that. Now, parts of the day, gün bölümleri. In a day you have, during the day you have morning, noon, afternoon, etc. I'm talking about this. So, sabah means morning. Sabah, morning. Öğle or öğlen, both are used, means noon. Akşam, remember from iyi akşamlar, evening. And gece, it means night. If you want to say in the morning, at noon, in the afternoon, etc., you're going to say sabahleyin, öğlenleyin, akşamleyin, geceleyin. Just add leyin. You don't have to add this leyin, by the way. Just sabah can also mean in the morning or during the morning, okay? But you have a choice. You can leave it as it is, which I'm sure you're going to do because students love simple stuff. But if you see this leyin, it means during the morning, okay, in the morning. And those who are interested, I'm giving you this. Şafak means dawn and ikindi means dusk, okay? So, breakfast. In Turkey, breakfast is really heavy, okay? We don't really eat cornflakes, although you can find them in the supermarket, so you don't have to worry about that. But in breakfast in Turkey, we usually have salty stuff, like cheese, like olive, alright? We never really, well, we have jam and honey, but other than that, we don't really eat like fruit, yogurt. We don't eat yogurt, first of all, in our breakfast. When I saw that in Europe, I was really amazed. Yogurt in breakfast? Yogurt is a dinner stuff in Turkey. Anyway, let's look at the vocabulary of the meal, of the stuff that we eat in Turkey during breakfast. So, yumurta, egg, yumurta, egg. Peynir, cheese. We have a tremendous amount of types of cheese, and each and every one of them has their own names, but I don't want to include all of them right now. I'm just giving you the general names, right? Peynir is cheese. Tereyağı, butter. Tereyağı, butter. Zeytin, olive. zeytin, olive. If you want to say, black olive, it's siyah zeytin, and green olive, yeşil zeytin, etc. Reçel, jam, reçel, jam. Çay, tea, chai. Kahve, coffee. Süt, milk. In Turkey, traditionally, we never put milk in our tea. I myself have started doing it recently, and I'm quite liking it. But when everyone else sees me doing it, they telling me, "Are you British? Why are you doing it?" Because we never do it, and most people don't even like it. Those who have tried, of course. But I'm kind of liking it. But we don't do it normally. And we have portakal suyu, orange juice. If you drink other juices, you can look up the words of those fruits and replace portakal with that fruit. For example, tomato is domates, and if you say tomato juice, and you just say domates suyu. Okay, juice. That's that. Now I'd like to teach you some vocabulary, which we're going to use in a minute. Ağır. Ağır means heavy. Ağır. It can be used for meals, grassy meals, or an object that weighs a lot. Ağır. Değil mi? Değil mi means isn't it, don't you, Sarah? All of that stuff. You can put it after every sentence, and you ask like, don't you agree? Or something like that, like French n'est-ce pas? And for example, in English, you have to pay attention to the sentence. If you say, are they, or they're going to the cinema, aren't they? You have to pay attention. Which form did I use? They. Okay, aren't they? Or you never do it, do you? You have to pay attention to the subject that you have used in order to answer that sentence. This is called a tag question. In Turkish, just değil mi, no matter what you used in the previous sentence. Okay, değil mi means isn't it, don't you, aren't you, aren't they, all of that. Hafif is the opposite of the first word. Ağır means light in the sense of not heavy. Okay. Haşlamak means to boil. Haşlamak. Her, each, like her gün, each day. Her sabah, each morning or every morning. İçmek, to drink. İle, birlikte, along with. Just ile means with. İle birlikte, along with. Koymak, to put. Mesela, for instance, for example. Mesela. Peki, alright. So, or okay, then it depends on the context a little bit. Sadece, only, solely. And let's say that you have a word and you add siz to it. It's a suffix. It becomes without that thing. Okay, you attach it from the right hand side, and it's an e-type suffix. So siz, sus, sus, 4 forms. It means without. Süt, milk. Tabii ki, or sometimes just tabii, means surely or of course, certainly. Since this is a video, I'm not going to repeat these words. You can just rewatch it, it's practical. So I'm going to move forward. So we have a composition, an essay here. Let's read it. Ben her sabah ağır bir kahvaltı yapıyorum. Mesela kahvaltıda genellikle 2 yumurta yiyorum. Bazen yumurtaları haşlıyorum. Bazen omlet yapıyorum. Now, until here, pay attention to the words that you have just learned. Her sabah, every morning. Ağır meant heavy. So, ağır bir kahvaltı yapıyorum. I'm having a heavy breakfast. Mesela, for instance, kahvaltıda, in the breakfast, genellikle, generally, 2 yumurta yiyorum. I'm eating 2 eggs. Bazen, sometimes, yumurtaları haşlıyorum. I boil the eggs. Bazen, sometimes, omlet yapıyorum. I'm preparing or doing omelette. I think it's simple until here. After this paragraph, we can ask, ama sadece yumurta yemiyorsun, değil mi? But you don't only eat eggs, do you? Right? Sadece means only. Yumurta means egg and yemek. Hayır. Tabii ki sadece yumurta yemiyorum. Yumurta ile birlikte peynir, tereyağı ve bazen reçel de yiyorum. Tabii ki means of course. Sadece yumurta yemiyorum. I'm giving you some time so that you can pause the video and think, alright? Sadece yumurta yemiyorum means I'm not eating eggs. I'm not only eating eggs. I'm eating other stuff too. Yumurta ile birlikte, along with egg, alongside eggs, peynir, cheese, tereyağı, butter, ve bazen, and sometimes, reçel de, jam too, I'm eating. So, I'm not only eating eggs, of course. I'm also eating, alongside the eggs, I'm also eating cheese, butter, and sometimes a jam or marmalade as well. That de means as well, also. After this, we can ask, peki bunlarla birlikte ne içiyorsun? Bunlar ile birlikte ne içiyorsun? Alongside these, what do you drink? What do you have for a drink? Genellikle çay içiyorum ama nadiren kahve de içiyorum. Çaya şeker koymuyorum ama kahveye biraz koyuyorum. Kahveme süt de koyuyorum ama çayımı sütsüz içiyorum. Türkler çaylarına süt koymuyorlar. So, genellikle, generally, çay içiyorum. I'm drinking tea usually. Ama nadiren, but, nadiren, rarely. Ama nadiren kahve de içiyorum. I'm having coffee too. Çaya şeker koymuyorum. I'm not koymuyorum. I'm not putting or adding sugar to the tea. Şeker means sugar. Ama kahveye biraz koyuyorum. But to the coffee, I'm putting a little bit. Biraz, a little bit. Kahveme süt de koyuyorum. To my coffee, kahve, kahvem, my coffee, kahveme. To my coffee, süt de koyuyorum. I'm putting milk too. Ama, but, çayımı, my tea, çay, çayım, my tea. Çayımı is accusative, objective form. Çayımı sütsüz, without milk, içiyorum. I'm drinking my tea without milk. Türkler, Turks, çaylarına, to their teas, süt koymuyorlar. Don't put milk. Was that hard? What I suggest that you should do is writing these 3 paragraphs to a paper, like twice or 3 times, until you get used to the sentence formations and constructions, okay? And maybe you can do as a homework, you can write whatever you have at breakfast, okay? Whatever you eat for breakfast, you can write it and send me as a PM and I'll correct it, alright? Pay attention to the constructions, where each particle, like but, also, sometimes, how they are used, etc. Pay attention to them and you should be okay. In Turkish, we learned the dative form, which served us to build sentences like I'm going to Istanbul. İstanbul'a gidiyorum. I'm going to Istanbul, where that a showed towards, right? İstanbul'a, I'm going to Istanbul. So, if we wanted to say I'm going from Istanbul to London, for example, from, how to say from? In that case, we used den or dan. İstanbul'dan gidiyorum. I'm going away from Istanbul. So dan is from. Den or dan. Or with the consonant harmony, ten and tan, you know, ketchup fahişesi, ketchup prostitute. So, with this, We have learned all the noun cases in Turkish. Nominative, like ev means home. This is the form that you can find in a dictionary. This is the form that all the subjects in a sentence take. Like, house is beautiful, where that house is the subject of the sentence, it should be nominative. Accusative, when it's the object of the sentence, like I see the house, evi. Dative, eve. Homewards, towards the house, to the house. Okay, this is motion towards something. Locative, evde, at home, to be located at some place. Ablative, evden, which we have just learned, from home, from the house, evden. And genitive, evin, of home, of the house, like the color of the house, etc. We have learned all these. This was a really important part of the Turkish grammar, noun cases. So if you feel really comfortable with these, then you're done with like 50% of Turkish grammar. This is the most important, this is the fundamental part of the Turkish syntax and grammar. I can tell you that. So if you haven't mastered it yet, it's not a big deal. But at least now you know what you should study, okay? You have to really digest all these. Since we learned the cases, let's learn some important constructions related to cases as well. We have construction x then, ablative, y, dative, kadar. This gives us the meaning from to. For example, pazartesiden cumaya kadar, from Monday to Friday. Pazartesiden cumaya kadar. Kadar means until. You know, we say until to. Both of them means it's a little redundant, but like that. From Monday until to Friday. Or Ocaktan Haziran'a kadar, from January to June. Pay attention, we don't capitalize our days and months. Okay. Kaliforniya'dan Bükreş'e kadar, from California to Bucharest. Buradan oraya kadar 8 kilometre, or 5 mil. From here to there, it's 8 kilometers, or 5 miles. In Turkey, we use kilometers, and people don't even know how to, calculate kilometers and miles, So you'd better carry some calculator with you if that's important to you. So let's move on. Now, ordinal numbers. What's an ordinal number? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, etc. And you also have first, second, third, fourth, fifth. The second list is ordinal numbers. Okay? It shows an order. This is the first, this is the second, etc. So how do we say that in Turkish? What you should do is number. You say number plus you add inci. Okay? That E in parentheses means it's not always there. If the word ends in a vowel, you don't use it. You just add nci, nji. If the word ends in a consonant, then you add it as a helper vowel. Okay. And since this is an E-type suffix, guess what happens? You have unci, uncu, and ucu alternatives as well. Now let's see. You already know the numbers, I hope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now to say first, second. As I said, you add inci. 1 plus inci becomes birinci. It means first. But just for this one, we have a synonym. You can also say ilk. Ilk also means first. Okay, ilk and birinci are the same thing. 2 plus, this time 2 ends in a vowel, so we don't really need that vowel, extra vowel. So 2 nci, ikinci, second. 3 plus uncu becomes üçüncü. 4 plus uncu becomes dördüncü. There's a consonant softening here. T becomes D. Why didn't this happen in the 3, üç, that also ends with a ç, ketchup consonant? I don't know why, But as I had said, consonant softening doesn't always occur. There are exceptions. I'm sorry, that doesn't happen. So you can memorize just 4, okay, because that doesn't happen in anything else. For the numbers I'm talking about. So 5, beşinci, and the rest goes on like that. Altıncı, yedinci, sekizinci, dokuzuncu, onuncu. Simple, I think. So that's it. Just have a look for a few seconds and we'll move on. So in English we have first, which we can write with letters, F-I-R-S-T, or we can write one S-T, right? That's also first. In Turkish too we have alternative spellings. You can write birinci with long letters, birinci. Or we can write one apostrophe inci, which we read as birinci, and one and a dot. Now, when you read a Turkish text and you see a number and just next to it a dot, that doesn't necessarily mean that the sentence ended there and that's a full stop. That can actually be the dot that shows the ordinal number. So you have to be careful with that. One way to understand that is from the context. And second way, which is much more simpler, a simple way to understand, just look at the next word. Does it start with a capital? Then that dot is a full stop, which ends the sentence. If the next word starts with a normal small letter, then that dot didn't actually end the previous sentence. It's actually showing the ordinal number. Okay, so be careful with that. Yedi, for example, another example, yedi. We can write yedi, 7 apostrophe nci, or 7 dot, yedinci. Okay. Other numbers are also regular. You just add the inci to the final. Okay. So 11th. There's been a mistake there. That should be 11th and 12th. Anyway, I guess I had written something else there. Anyway, 11th is 11. 12th is 12. 20th is 20. 21st, 21. Greek speakers, especially be careful. We don't say 20. 1. Okay. In some languages, they put that ordinal suffix to each number. We don't do that in Turkish. So 21st is 21. 53rd is 53. 100th is 100. 2784th is 3784. So just put the inci to the final number, alright? Simple as that. Let's learn some directions. Now pay attention to the ball. It's on the box, right? By the way, ball in Turkish is top and the box is kutu, which you will see in a minute. So if it is on, we say üstünde. Top kutunun üstünde. Pay attention, we use genitive form of kutu. Top kutunun üstünde. It's like if you consider üstünde like the upper part, the ball is on the upper part of the box. That's why there's a genitive. That's how we think. That's why there's a genitive there. Top kutunun üstünde. Okay. So ball off the box at the upper side, something like that. And on the second image, the ball is below, not below, but under the box. So that's altında, again with genitive. Top kutunun altında. The ball is at the lower part of the box. Of the box. That's why there's a genitive. If you come from the other way, you can also say kutu topun üstünde, because if the ball is under the box, then automatically the box is on top of the ball. So as well as the other one, you can say kutu topun altında for the above picture. The box is below the ball, alright? So X is on Y in Turkish. X, Y plus in or nin. Kutu ended in U, so we added that N. Üstünde or altında, whichever it is, okay? This is your construction. So the ball is next to the box. Yanında. Top kutunun yanında. Or automatically the other one is also, next to it. So kutu topun yanında. These go together, logically. Sağında, at the right hand side. Top kutunun sağında. The ball is at the right hand side of the box, to the right of the box. Or it can be on the other way. Solunda. Top kutunun solunda. Or, as we did before, if the ball is to the right hand side of the box, then automatically the box is to the left hand side of the ball. So, kutu topun sağında for the second picture, and kutu topun solunda for the first picture too. This is also possible. By the way, sağ means right, the direction one, and sol means left. So, top sağda means the ball is on the right, and top solda means the ball is on the left. This will be useful when you're going to say, for example, the teacher or the supermarket is on the right of the road, etc. When you give or when you receive directions. Just a couple more. When the ball is across the box, we say karşısında. Top kutunun karşısında. The ball is across the box. Pay attention, we always use genitive. Don't think of English to be across text, normal. Anyway, don't think like that. It's always genitive in Turkish. Now, one more thing. If the ball isn't right on top of the box, but a little above it, there's a distance between them, then we say above, which is in Turkish yukarısında. But we usually don't pronounce the first U, so it becomes yukarısında. When we write it, it's always there, but when we pronounce it, it's a little faster, so yukarısında. Top kutunun yukarısında. The box is above the ball is above the box. And likewise, if it's a little below, not just under, but a little below it, we say aşağısında. Top kutunun aşağısında. Two of my students asked me how to say I have to do, I must do, I should do, how to build these constructions in Turkish. In Turkish you have much more options than these three in English. Okay, so let's see. To build these constructions in Turkish you need three things. Noun form of the verb. 2. Possessives. You know these. 3. Lazım, gerek, gerekli, gerekiyor. One of these four words. Okay. So, noun form of the verb. What does it even mean? Let's see. In Turkish verbs can end either in mek or mak. X mek, y mak. To obtain the noun form, you omit the final k. So it becomes x me or y ma. It becomes a noun. Let's see an example. Gitmek means to go. Omit the final k. Gitme, going. Hazırlamak means to prepare. Omit the final k. Hazırlama. What can be the noun form of it? Act of preparing, preparation, right? So that's it. You just omit the final k and it becomes a noun. You can then decline it. You can put it in accusative, ablative, genitive. It's like a noun. 2. Possessives. I hope you remember them. If you don't, go back to watch the 4th or 5th video. Araba, car. If you remember to say my car, your car, you would say arabam, araban, arabas, and so on. So if to say my car, you say arabam, let's look at this. Yapmak was to do, right? Noun form yapma, doing, the act of doing. And how to say my act of doing? Yapmam. If araba becomes arabam, then yapma is also a noun now, so it's no different than araba. Yapmam. The fact that I do. My doing. Okay. Yapman, your doing. Yapması, his, her doing, and so on. Thirdly, you need lazım, gerek, gerekli, gerekiyor. All of these four things are the same, okay? You can use one of these. So to say I must do, what you do is yapmam, my doing, gerekiyor, is necessary. My doing is necessary. Yapmam gerekiyor. You could also say yapmam lazım, yapmam gerek, yapmam gerekli. As I said, one of these four verbs would do the trick. Alright? Simple. So what you need is take the noun form of the verb, verb, and omit the final K, you take the noun form. And then add possessives to show the person, and then add lazım, gerek, gerekli, gerekiyor, whichever you want. But if I want to emphasize, then I would say then lazım and gerekli, first one and third one, are the most used ones. Lazım and gerekli are the most common ones, but all of them are the same. A sentence like must he do would be yapması gerekiyor mu? He's doing necessary mu, remember? Or yapması lazım mı? Yapması gerek mi? Yapması gerekli mi? All of them would do. If I wanted to make negative, then like I must not do, yapmam gerekmiyor, normal present tense negative. The other ones are adjectives, so yapmam lazım değil, yapmam gerek değil, yapmam gerekli değil. Okay? So that's also easy, I think. Alternatively, gerek means necessity or need. It's actually a noun. So you can say dative plus gerek var. There is a need for. Or gerek yok. There is no need for. The negative for, there is no need for, gerek yok, is really used very commonly. So let's say öğrenmek, to learn. Öğrenme, learning. Öğrenmen, you're learning. So, Türkçe öğrenmene gerek yok. There is no need for you to learn Turkish. A sentence like this is possible. Okay? Finally, I have to do. I have to do, it's a stronger phrase. What you do is infinitive. Take the form verb in infinitive, add zorunda, and to zorunda, add suffixes of verb to be. Like, I have to go would be gitmek zorundayım. Gitmek zorundasın, gitmek zorunda, etc. Finally, I should do. I should do is more of like suggestion. What you do is take the verb root, add meli or malı plus suffixes of verb to be. So like yapmak, yapmalı, should do. Yapmalıyım, I should do. Yapmalısın, you should do. Yapmalı, he should do, etc. That's that. So you'll learn pretty amazing stuff in this lesson. As I said, if this is too much, there's nothing that has too much info because you have the chance to re-watch the video. So if this is too much, you can always stop and move on when you feel comfortable. All right.